Harley-Davidson just revealed their 2026 lineup. Chapter 1, they're calling it. Like it's some grand unveiling. A multi-part launch strategy designed to build anticipation, create excitement, generate buzz for the future of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Except there's a problem. Actually, 7 problems. 7 massive fundamental issues with this lineup that prove Harley still doesn't understand what went wrong, or how to fix it, or maybe they understand but lack the courage to make real changes. Today I'm breaking down Chapter 1 of Harley's 2026 model year reveal. All 7 things they got catastrophically wrong, why this lineup won't save the company, what it says about Harley's strategic direction, and why enthusiasts should be worried instead of excited. This isn't just criticism for criticism's sake, this is reality. Documented facts, cold hard truth. Let's expose what Harley doesn't want you to see. Subscribe if you want honest motorcycle industry analysis without corporate propaganda or dealer spin. Bell icon so you don't miss my Chapter 2 coverage coming in January when Harley reveals the rest. Drop a comment with which of these 7 mistakes bothers you most. Let's go. Let's start with the most obvious and insulting problem. Harley's calling this announcement Chapter 1. Not the 2026 lineup, not new models. Chapter 1, implying there's a Chapter 2 coming, probably Chapter 3, maybe more. A serialized multi-stage reveal strategy stretched across months, like a streaming service dropping episodes weekly to maintain engagement. Why is this fundamentally wrong? Because it's a corporate delay tactic, strategic stalling. Harley doesn't have a complete 2026 lineup ready to show, so instead of admitting that, they're reframing incompleteness as intentional strategy. Drip-feeding information, stretching announcements across multiple carefully choreographed events, creating artificial anticipation for products that should have been ready and revealed all at once. Think about what this actually means. Harley had an entire year to develop their 2026 lineup. 12 months, 365 days. They knew when EICMA was happening, November, the biggest motorcycle show on Earth, where every manufacturer reveals complete model year lineups. Honda showed everything. Yamaha showed everything. BMW, KTM, Ducati, Triumph, Suzuki. Everyone brought complete lineups, actual products, real motorcycles, available specifications, clear pricing, dealer availability timelines. Harley showed 5 bikes, 5, and said wait for more. Chapter 2 is scheduled for January 14, 2026. That's over 2 months away. 2 months of waiting for information about motorcycles that won't arrive at dealers for months after that. This creates a 6 to 9 month gap between announcement and availability, during which customers lose interest, competitors launch products, market conditions change. What's in Chapter 2? Harley won't say officially, but we can guess. CVOs, high-dollar limited edition models priced at $50,000 to $60,000, maybe some special paint schemes, anniversary editions, collector bikes, the stuff that generates headlines but doesn't move volume. The bikes 99% of customers can't afford and won't buy. Will there be a Chapter 3? 4? How many chapters does a model year need? This feels like Netflix turning a 2-hour movie into an 8-episode series to justify subscription fees. Except nobody's subscribing to Harley. They're unsubscribing. Sales down 23%, dealers closing, customers leaving, and Harley thinks multi-chapter marketing will fix that? It won't. Real companies with complete strategies show complete lineups. Harley's multi-chapter approach reveals weakness, unpreparedness, lack of cohesive vision. They're making it up as they go, buying time, hoping something changes before they have to commit to real strategy. That's not leadership. That's panic. And here's the worst part. This strategy assumes Harley's products are worth waiting for, that customers will stay engaged through months of drip feed announcements. That anticipation will build instead of dissipate. It won't. Attention spans are measured in hours now, not months. Competitors have complete exciting lineups available today. Harley's asking people to wait until January for partial information about bikes arriving maybe next summer. That's a losing proposition in 2025. Chapter 1 is wrong because it prioritizes marketing over substance, style over product, announcements over motorcycles. Harley needs bikes, not chapters. And calling this Chapter 1 admits they don't have the bikes ready. That's problem number 1. Harley's centerpiece announcement for Chapter 1 is the Milwaukee-Eight 117 engine, replacing the 114 and Softails cruiser models. More displacement, more torque, more power, presented like it's breakthrough engineering, game-changing innovation, the future of Harley performance. Except it's absolutely not any of those things. It's a displacement bump. Same fundamental engine architecture, same air-cooled 45-degree V-twin design, same pushrod valve actuation, same 2-valve per cylinder heads, same basic technology introduced in 2017, 8 years ago, just slightly bigger. 117 cubic inches instead of 114. 3 additional cubic inches. That's the innovation. 3 cubes. Let's be completely clear about what the Milwaukee-Eight 117 actually is. It's not new technology. This exact engine has existed since 2023. Harley's been using it in CVO models for 2 years. Custom vehicle operations, their ultra-premium $50,000 limited production bikes, the 117-powered CVO Street Glides, CVO Road Glides, CVO Limiteds. It's been in Harley's catalog for 2 model years already. What Harley did for 2026 is take that existing CVO engine and put it in standard Softail cruisers. That's not innovation. That's parts bin engineering. Cost reduction through platform sharing. Taking premium components and standardizing them to justify higher prices on volume models. It's smart business, but it's not revolutionary. It's not breakthrough. It's not the future. It's corporate parts management. What does the 117 actually deliver over the 114? Harley's marketing claims more low-end torque, better pulling power from idle, improved rideability in city traffic, enhanced cruising performance, all technically true. But here's the reality. The difference is marginal. 3 cubic inches don't transform riding experience. Riders won't feel dramatic differences. Dyno charts show modest torque increases at low RPM, maybe 10%. That's noticeable if you're specifically looking for it. But it's not life-changing. It's not the difference between good and great. It's the difference between adequate and slightly more adequate. Compare this to what Harley's competitors are actually doing. Real innovation, real engineering progress. Indian's Power Plus engine in the Challenger in Chief makes 122 foot-pounds of torque from 108 cubic inches. That's more torque than Milwaukee-Eight 117 from less displacement. And Power Plus is liquid-cooled, runs cooler, more efficient, more reliable. That's engineering progress. BMW's Boxer engine in the R18 makes 91 foot-pounds from 109 cubic inches. Smoother than any Harley, more refined, better heat management, actual German engineering instead of heritage nostalgia. That's what modern motorcycle engines deliver. Honda just revealed the CB 1000 GT at EICMA. 1000cc inline 4, liquid-cooled, 140 horsepower, quick shifter standard, multiple riding modes, adaptive everything. That's innovation. That's technology. That's what 2026 engines look like when manufacturers invest in development. Harley's taking an air-cooled pushrod design from 2017, making it 3 cubic inches larger, and calling it the future. That's not innovation. That's incremental improvement masquerading as breakthrough technology. It's lipstick on a pig, polishing an old platform instead of developing new ones. The Milwaukee-Eight 117 is fine. It's adequate. It works. But it's not exciting. It's not competitive with modern liquid-cooled engines. It's not the answer to Harley's performance deficit. And it's definitely not worth waiting months for Chapter 2 to see what else they do with 8-year-old technology. That's problem number 2. Let's talk money. Real dollars, because Harley raised prices on their 2026 models. Across the board, every single bike in Chapter 1 costs more than the equivalent 2025 model, despite being fundamentally the same motorcycles with marginally larger engines and fresh paint schemes. This is economic insanity during a sales collapse. Heritage Classic with Milwaukee-Eight 117, $23,499 MSRP. Compare that to the 2025 Heritage Classic with the 114 engine, $21,499. That's a $2,000 increase, $2,000 for 3 cubic inches of displacement. For context, that's $667 per additional cubic inch. That's not value. That's price gouging masked as improvement. Lowrider S with 117 engine, $21,499. The 2025 Lowrider S with 114 engine costs $19,999, $1,500 increase, same frame, same suspension, same brakes, same transmission, same styling, slightly bigger engine, $1,500 more. That's a 7.5% price increase for a marginal displacement bump. Fat Boy with 117, $23,999, $2,000 more than 2025. Street Bob 114, $18,499, $1,000 more. Lowrider ST, $25,499, up from $23,999. Across the entire Chapter 1 lineup, prices increased between $1,000 and $2,500 per model. That's systemic price inflation during market contraction. Here's why this is catastrophically wrong. Harley's sales are collapsing, not declining gradually, collapsing rapidly, down 23% year over year in 2025. Third quarter revenue down, despite shipping more bikes to dealers, retail sales to actual customers falling off a cliff, dealers closing at accelerating rates, 100 dealerships gone in 4 years, customer base aging out, young riders not replacing them, every single metric screaming crisis. And Harley's strategic response is raise prices. That violates fundamental economic principles, supply and demand. When demand drops and supply remains constant or increases, prices must fall to clear inventory. That's Econ 101. First week material, basic market dynamics. Harley's doing the opposite. Decreasing demand, stable supply, rising prices. That creates deadweight loss, unsold inventory, dealer financial stress, accelerated business failure. Why is Harley raising prices during a demand crisis? Because they're desperate for gross margin. They can't sell volume anymore. Peak years Harley sold 250,000 motorcycles globally. 2024, they sold 148,000. 40% decline. 2025 will be worse. Maybe 120,000 units. They've lost 130,000 units of annual volume. They can't make that up. So instead of competing on volume with competitive pricing, they're trying to extract maximum profit per unit sold, hoping die-hard Harley loyalists will pay anything, that aging boomers with retirement money will absorb infinite price increases. It's not working. Even loyal customers have limits. Even wealthy retirees recognize bad value, and they're walking away. Young riders absolutely cannot afford these prices. Median household income in America is $78,000 before taxes, maybe $55,000 take-home. After rent, food, insurance, transport, utilities, necessities, maybe $15,000 to $20,000 discretionary income annually. And Harley wants them to spend $23,000 on a cruiser motorcycle. That's impossible. Financially irrational. Young riders are buying used Japanese bikes, sport bikes, adventure bikes under 15 grand, or not buying motorcycles at all. They're not buying $23,000 Harleys. Harley's competitors are cheaper, significantly cheaper for equivalent or better products. Indian Scout starts at $11,000. Triumph Bonneville Speedmaster is $15,000. Yamaha Star Venture fully loaded touring bike is $26,000. All better value propositions than equivalent Harleys, and all selling better because of it. Indian's market share is growing. Harley's is shrinking. Price is a major factor. Harley should have cut prices for 2026 dramatically, 20 to 30% across the board. Make Harleys affordable, accessible, competitive with Indian and Japanese manufacturers. Accept lower margins temporarily to rebuild volume. Attract younger customers. Support dealers with faster inventory turns. That's rational crisis management strategy. Instead, they raised prices, making a bad situation worse, accelerating the death spiral. Fewer customers can afford bikes. Fewer bikes sell. Revenue falls despite higher per-unit prices. Dealers suffer. More dealerships close. Fewer sales channels exist. Fewer bikes sell. Revenue falls further. Repeat until bankruptcy. Raising prices during demand collapse is problem number 3, and it might be the most economically destructive decision in Chapter 1. Here's something Harley absolutely isn't advertising in their Chapter 1 marketing materials. The Softails platform is discontinued. Harley ended Softail development and production in late 2024. The Heritage Classic, Fat Boy, Lowrider S, Street Bob, Breakout, Lowrider ST, all the bikes featured in Chapter 1 are built on a dead platform. This is the final model year. There is no future generation, no ongoing development, no improvements coming. This is it, the end of the Softail line. Think carefully about what that means. You're being asked to pay $23,000 for a brand new 2026 Heritage Classic, fresh from the factory, current model year, except it's built on a motorcycle platform that Harley stopped developing. A discontinued architecture, no engineers working on next-generation Softails, no improvements planned, no evolution scheduled. This is a dead-end product sold at premium new bike pricing. Why does this matter economically and ethically? Because you're paying 2026 prices for 2018 technology. The current Softail frame and suspension architecture debuted in 2018. 7 years ago. These bikes are fundamentally 7-year-old designs, with fresh paint, slightly bigger engines from the CVO parts bin, sold as new cutting-edge motorcycles. That's deceptive even if technically legal, but the real impact hits when you try to resell. 3 years from now, you're selling a 2026 model bike built on a discontinued platform. No current equivalent in Harley's lineup, no parts commonality with future models, orphan technology that devastates resale value. Buyers don't want last-generation discontinued platforms. They want current technology, continuing support, future relevance, none of which these Softails have. Compare resale of discontinued platforms to continuing platforms. Final year model bikes before major redesigns lose value faster than bikes from continuing development. Everyone knows this. It's documented in motorcycle value guides, KBB, NADA. All show accelerated depreciation for platform-ending model years because buyers recognize dead ends. Harley should be discounting these heavily, not raising prices. These are closeout products, end-of-life inventory. Smart strategy would be aggressive pricing to clear inventory, make room for next-generation platforms, attract buyers with value propositions, move volume quickly before technology becomes more obviously outdated. Instead, Harley's raising prices, charging premium rates for discontinued platforms, banking on customer ignorance, hoping buyers don't know these are dead-end bikes. That's ethically questionable, commercially stupid, and strategically suicidal. Customers will figure this out, not immediately, but within months as news spreads, as reviewers mention it, as dealers quietly admit it, and those customers will be angry, betrayed. They paid full price for discontinued bikes without disclosure. That destroys brand loyalty, creates resentment, generates negative word of mouth that persists for years. For what? Short-term revenue from overpriced inventory? This is problem number 4, and it might be the most ethically problematic aspect of Chapter 1. Selling discontinued bikes at premium prices without clear disclosure is wrong, and it will backfire spectacularly. Harley introduced solo trim packages for Chapter 1, budget versions of touring and cruiser models, lower starting prices, stripped-down feature sets, marketed as making Harleys more accessible to working-class riders who've been priced out of the brand. Sounds positive. Sounds like Harley finally understands affordability matters until you see actual prices. Then it's revealed as marketing deception. Street Glide Solo, $24,999. Heritage Classic Solo, $19,999. Street Bob Solo, $14,999. These are the budget accessibility models, and they cost $15,000 to $25,000. That's not affordable. That's still expensive. That's still out of reach for most American workers. Let's be clear what affordable actually means. Median individual income in America is approximately $43,000 annually before taxes. After taxes, maybe $32,000 take-home. After rent, food, transport, insurance, utilities, and necessities, discretionary income might be $8,000 to $12,000 annually. For half of Americans, it's less. And Harley's asking them to spend $15,000 on a budget motorcycle. That's more than 1 year of discretionary income. That's financially impossible for median Americans. Real affordable motorcycles cost $8,000 to $12,000 new. Yamaha MT-07, $9,000, Honda Rebel 1100, $10,500, Kawasaki Z650, $8,000, Triumph Street Twin, $11,500. Those are accessible price points for working riders, monthly payments under $200, achievable for people with normal incomes. That's what affordable means. Harley's $15,000 Solo trim isn't entry level. It's mid-range pricing for a deliberately stripped product. And what did Harley actually remove to create Solo packages? Passenger seat, passenger foot pegs, rear luggage options, that's it. Same engine, same frame, same suspension, same brakes, same wheels, same transmission, same electronics. Everything identical except missing passenger accommodation. The material cost of a passenger seat and foot pegs is maybe $150 in parts and $50 in assembly labor. Call it $200 manufacturing cost. Harley's charging $1,000 to $1,500 less for Solo models compared to standard. They removed $200 of components, reduced price by $1,000, pocketed $800 in additional gross margin, while marketing it as helping customers afford Harleys. That's not a value proposition. That's margin expansion disguised as affordability initiative. It's cynical, it's exploitative, and it insults customers' intelligence. But here's the worst part. Solo trim bikes look incomplete, obviously missing components, missing passenger seat, screams I couldn't afford the full version. That's not aspirational. That's not cool. That's poverty signaling. Nobody wants to ride a bike that announces financial limitations, especially in a brand built on image and status. Harley should have developed actual entry-level motorcycles, 600cc Revolution, max models priced at $9,000 to $11,000, smaller Sportster variants at $8,000. Real budget bikes targeting new riders and younger demographics. Build next-generation customers, create brand loyalty early, establish Harley as attainable instead of exclusive. Instead, they removed seats from expensive bikes and called them affordable. That's lazy product planning. That's wrong. And it won't attract young riders or expand the customer base. That's problem number 5. Chapter 1 revealed standard cruisers with marginally bigger engines. Fine, adequate. But where are the interesting models, the CVOs everyone actually wants to see? The special editions, the limited runs, the anniversary bikes, the collaborations, the truly exciting motorcycles that generate enthusiasm and media coverage? Those are all coming in Chapter 2. January 14, 2026, over 2 months from now. Harley's deliberately withholding the interesting products, making customers wait, creating artificial anticipation through information restriction. While competitors showed complete exciting lineups this week at EICMA, this is fundamentally wrong strategically, because enthusiasm and attention are perishable. They decay rapidly, especially in modern media environments with infinite content competing for finite attention. Making people wait 2 months guarantees most will move on to other interests, other brands, other products, other content. Honda revealed electric motorcycles this week, world premiere of the D7, first Honda electric. That's exciting. Yamaha showed new sport bikes, updates to R series. That generates buzz. BMW debuted adventure models. GS updates everyone cares about. KTM launched performance machines, dirt bikes, street bikes, everything. All this week. Complete information, full specifications, real bikes people can see, touch, order. Available now or soon. Harley showed 5 cruisers everyone expected, then said wait for the good stuff. That creates frustration instead of excitement, resentment instead of anticipation, because enthusiasts want complete information now so they can plan purchases, budget accordingly, compare options across brands, make informed decisions. Harley's forcing them to wait for products that might not even justify the wait. What if Chapter 2 disappoints? What if it's just CVOs priced at $60,000? More limited editions collectors buy but nobody rides? More paint schemes on old platforms? Then Harley wasted 2 months building hype for products that don't matter to 95% of potential customers. That damages credibility, erodes trust, makes future announcements less impactful because people remember being disappointed. This multi-chapter strategy assumes Harley's products are worth waiting for. The customers will maintain engagement through months of delays. That anticipation will build linearly instead of dissipating exponentially. All wrong assumptions. Attention doesn't work that way. Enthusiasm fades. Competitors fill the void. Market opportunities close. Harley should have shown everything at EICMA like every other manufacturer. Complete lineup, All models, clear strategy, confident execution. Instead, they showed partial products and asked for patience. That signals weakness, unpreparedness, lack of cohesive vision. That's problem number 6. The biggest, most critical thing wrong with Chapter 1 isn't any specific product or price or strategy. It's that this entire lineup fails to address Harley-Davidson's fundamental existential problems. The core issues killing the company: sales collapsing, dealers closing, customers aging out without replacement, brand perception deteriorating, market share declining, revenue falling. Chapter 1 does nothing to fix any of it. In fact, it makes several problems worse. Problem 1 is pricing. Customers can't afford Harleys. Sales data proves this. Chapter 1 raised prices further, making bikes less affordable, harder to justify, more difficult to finance. This accelerates the pricing crisis instead of alleviating it. Wrong direction. Problem 2 is outdated technology. Competitors offer liquid-cooled engines, advanced electronics, modern rider aids, connectivity, innovation. Harley's offering air-cooled pushrods from 2017 with 3 more cubic inches. That's not competitive. That's not appealing to younger riders raised on modern technology. Chapter 1 doubled down on old tech instead of introducing new. Wrong direction. Problem 3 is demographic death. Harley's customer base is aging rapidly. Average buyer age 55 and rising. Boomers retiring, dying, not being replaced. Young riders need affordable, accessible modern bikes. Chapter 1 offers expensive, nostalgic old-tech cruisers, appealing primarily to aging demographics. This does nothing to attract millennials or Gen Z. Wrong direction. Problem 4 is dealer network collapse. 100 dealerships closed 4 years, remaining dealers struggling with inventory costs and low sales velocity. They need affordable bikes that sell quickly, high turns, low floor plan costs. Chapter 1 offers expensive, slow-selling cruisers that sit on floors for months, accruing interest charges. This makes dealer economics worse. Wrong direction. Problem 5 is competition. Indian builds better cruisers at competitive prices. BMW builds better tourers. Japanese manufacturers build everything better and cheaper. Chapter 1 needed to close competitive gaps, offer compelling reasons to choose Harley over alternatives. Instead, it widened gaps by offering old technology at premium prices while competitors offer modern tech at competitive prices. Wrong direction. Harley needed revolutionary products, complete reinvention, affordable pricing strategies, modern technology platforms, young customer focus, dealer support initiatives, long-term viability planning. They delivered slightly bigger engines, new paint colors, budget trims that aren't actually affordable, marketing chapter structures, and empty promises of more coming later. This lineup doesn't solve problems, it perpetuates them. It proves Harley either doesn't understand what went wrong or lacks institutional courage to make necessary changes. Either conclusion is devastating, because companies that don't understand their problems can't fix them, and companies that understand but won't act deserve to fail. Chapter 1 is wrong because it's more of the same during a crisis demanding transformation. That's problem number 7. And it's terminal. Harley-Davidson's 2026 Chapter 1 has 7 catastrophic problems. Multi-chapter delayed tactics revealing unpreparedness. Milwaukee-Eight 117 marketed as revolutionary when it's incremental. Prices raised during demand collapse violating basic economics. Discontinued Softails sold at premium prices without disclosure. Solo trim packages that aren't actually affordable. Interesting products delayed to Chapter 2. And most critically, nothing addresses fundamental business problems killing Harley. This lineup is strategic failure. Old bikes, old technology, wrong prices, wrong positioning, wrong timing, wrong everything. Harley's dying, sales collapsing, dealers closing, customers leaving. And Chapter 1 proves leadership either doesn't understand why or won't make necessary changes. Chapter 2 arrives January 14th. Will it be better? Almost certainly not. It'll be CVOs nobody can afford. Limited editions for collectors, more marketing, more delays, more corporate speak, but not solutions, not fundamental strategic pivots, not the revolution Harley desperately needs to survive. Drop a comment. Which of these 7 problems bothers you most? Which one proves Harley's doomed? And do you think Chapter 2 will fix anything or just reveal more problems? Let's hear your take. Subscribe for continued honest coverage of Harley's decline without corporate propaganda. Chapter 2. Coverage coming in January. This channel documents the death of American motorcycle manufacturing in real time. It's tragic, it's preventable, and it's happening right now. Harley's Chapter 1 has 7 fatal flaws. Chapter 2 won't fix them. This company is dying, and their 2026 lineup proves they don't know how to save themselves.